Code Geass initially began as a simple idea developed at Sunrise Studio by Ichiro Aokuichi and Goro Taniguchi. The initial concept of the plot consisted of a secret organization led by a hero, which was later developed into a conflict between two people with differing values of morality belonging to the same military unit. During these early planning stages, Kawaguchi contacted the renowned manga artist group Clamp, and it was first time ever that Clamp had ever been requested to design the characters of an anime series. Number 2. The anime was created and aired before the manga and light novel adaptations, which ultimately allowed the anime to be the foundation for many different stories, as there are many Code Geass mangas and light novels which portray various alternative scenarios from the TV series. Here are some. Number 1. Code Geass Lelouch of the Rebellion, which is a retelling of the anime. However, it wasn't a shot-for-shot adaptation, as there were many minor changes here and there, such as the absence of nightmares. Number 2. Code Geass Suzaku of the Counterattack is also based on the anime, but in Suzaku's point of view, although there are still some minor changes made from the anime, some of which you guys might consider it as major changes. Number 3. Code Geass Nightmare of Nunnally is an alternative universe story featuring mostly the same characters and some of the same historical backgrounds, but otherwise wildly different. As the title suggests, Nunnally is the main character and Lelouch is mostly out of the picture. Nunnally makes a contract with a being called Nemo, which allows her to control an unusual nightmare. Number 4. Code Geass Tales of an Alternate Shogunate is also an alternate universe story featuring alternate versions of many of the characters, back in the year 1853. In this story, Geass is actually the power to summon and control nightmares. The characters use this power to fend off Perry's black ships, except this time Perry is a Britannian and not an American. Number 5. Code Geass Renya of the Darkness is supposedly set in the main continuity back in the 1800s, but is basically an alternate universe story. None of the main characters from the main story appear besides Cece, and the name Nightmare is given a weird human-sized beings that cause trouble for the main characters. Number 6. Code Geass Oz the Reflection is an alternative universe story supposedly set between the two seasons of the anime. And number 7. There is also apparently a full Como manga called Barcode Geass Lelouch of the Sails. I haven't read it, but it appears to be a parody manga about Lelouch working as a store clerk, and as such is clearly another alternative universe story. Number 3. Many of the characters were based off previous anime adaptations. For instance, Lelouch's character is based on Kamui Shiro from Clamp Series X 1999, whom Code Geass is said to be its source for the story and characters. Also, Lelouch's character design resembles Kamui from both X and Tsubu's Reservoir Chronicles. Lelouch and Kamui have similar things in common. Both are gifted supernatural users who held the fate of civilization in their hands by leading a war for Earth, but at the same time they must suffer hardships and deaths, especially when they protect their loved ones. Other than Kamui from X, Lelouch also has common similarities with Fuma Manu as well. Lelouch and Fuma are big loving brothers to their little sisters and are best friends with their childhood friends. Both realize that they can't escape their fate later in the series, and they may have different actions, but they have villainistic traits are similar since they both end up becoming enemies to their childhood friend and other friends along the way, with making sacrificial decisions for the sake of the world at hand. Fuma is also featured in X 1999 and in Reservoir Chronicles just like Kamui. Another similar character is Char Aznavour, as subsequent characters based off him, of the long-running Gundam franchise also by Sunrise. Both wear masks and bear several aliases rebelling against a nation that they were once part of, such as the Principality of Zeon, which parallels the Holy Britannian Empire. Suzaku bears a lot of similarities with Amuro Ray, Char's brown-haired rival. Both are subject to prejudice of their comrades for being different. In the case of Amuro, he is envied for his new type of powers. However, in the case of Suzaku, he is put down for being a lowly 11. Suzaku is also based off Kira Yamato, also from the Gundam series, in the aspect of becoming rivals with their childhood friends, as Kira was childhood friends with Afron Zala in the past, but they later become rivals. Even more interesting is that his love interest, Euphemia, bears an uncanny resemblance to Kira's love interest, Lacus Clyne. Number 4. Geass originates in Gaelic mythology. One of the first and best known heroes subject to Geass is the central character of an Irish mythology, Ulster cycle, Cú Chulainn. He was subject to Geass of being forbidden to eat dog meat by his enemies, but in early Ireland there was a powerful enough general taboo against refusing hospitality, so when an old crone offers him a meal of dog meat, he has no choice to break his Geass. In this way, he is spiritually weakened for the fight ahead of him because of this. In Code Geass, Geass is a power given to Lelouch by the mysterious Cece. It allows him to force others to do his will to certain limitations. The similarity to Geass concept is evident and is presumably the reason behind the name. The concept of Geass also appears in Fate Universe, including the Irish mythology of Cú Chulainn and Diarmuid, who are Lance's servants. The news of Geass' curse is forming a curse over a target that imposes a mystical restriction over one's action with the consent of both parties. Number 5. Code Geass is one of the most popular anime series around the world, but did you guys know Sunrise expected it to be a failure? Goro Taniguchi was an untested director, but he had a few animes under his resume. He's known to be a perfectionist, and Code Geass was going to be his first series he ever wrote. Sunrise did not make the development easy for Taniguchi and his staff. Season 1 was cut from 50 episodes down to 25. Instead of the standard 8 episode buffer, essentially episodes that are ready to air before the premiere date, that most shows have, the team only was given 3 to 4 episodes. Taniguchi's team didn't even have a photocopier and often had to borrow equipment from other Sunrise teams. The first season's success didn't give Taniguchi much freedom for the second season. The only good thing to come from Sunrise's restrictive nature was that Taniguchi had to create Geass's power and Cece in order for the series to get greenlit. Number 6. Did you guys know that in Japan, Pizza Hut sponsored Code Geass, shown by Cece's obsession with pizza? However, it was censored out in the English dub version because of the DVDs being sold in US and Canada. Unfortunately, it costs a lot of money to have a product placed in any TV show aired in the US, and it's not something that Pizza Hut America had the rights to do, nor would they have any interest as Code Geass is not as mainstream as it is overseas. Copyright laws differ in North America from that of Japan. When Bandai, the subsidiary of Sunrise, was asked of this, they responded with, "The Japanese rights holders did not clear the Pizza Hut logo for outside Japan. However, we did try to get permission and Pizza Hut declined to give us permission." So there you go, Pizza Hut sponsored one of the greatest anime of all time. Woo! That is something to think about. Number 7. Interviews about the ending of the series. In the recently published Code Geass Roman album, Taniguchi stated in his interview that Code Geass R2 did not go as planned. Apparently, the decision to air R2 in the new Sunrise time slot of 6 o'clock JST on Saturdays to 5 o'clock JST on Sundays was more of a curse than a blessing to Taniguchi, as a change in time slot forced him to tone down the content and to include a time skip, so new viewers wouldn't get too confused with the story up to that point. His plan had been to continue where things left off in episode 25, which would have been possible had he been allowed to keep the same time slot. Producer Kawaguchi mentioned in early R2 promotion articles that the Code Geass team had to throw out all their existing plans for season 2 and start all over because of a new time slot. Number 8. Did you guys know that in the Code Geass there is multiple references related back to our real world, such as geopolitics, religion and other historical figures? For instance, Julius Caesar, who attempts to invade Britain but is met with strong resistance from the local tribes, who elect a super leader, the Celtic king Eowyn, who rapidly becomes the first member of the Britannian imperial family in the lore of Code Geass.
こうしたケルトの一部族の王がブリタニア皇家の始祖とされる。彼がローマから独立を獲得し、王位と言っても正しくは部族長のようなものだが、担った年が公暦の元年とされる年だ。
There is also reference to Christianity, although the fact the birth of Christ is not news may suggest that Christianity was never established in this universe. However, in the English dub, Lloyd mentions onward Christian soldiers. Christ is mentioned at Shirley's father's funeral.
Pious soul who always looked to God in his life and a friend to us all.
Father,
May he rest in peace, forever cradled in the bosom of our Lord.
And the appearance of Catholic nun in the second season suggests that it does exist, but may not be widely practiced. Most Britannians do not appear to practice Christianity, while some do, as Shirley Fennett's family is shown to practice a form of Protestant Christianity. Indeed, religion is rarely mentioned in the original Japanese version, but it's referenced more frequently in the English dub. Number 9. In April 2010, it was officially revealed that a new Code Geass side story anime called Code Geass Akito the Exiled will be directed by Kazuki Akane, who is known for the vision of Escaflowne 8. The side story is an OVA set in Europe during the Britannian invasion of the continent between the Lelouch of the Rebellion's second seasons. And another OVA anime titled Code Geass Nunnally in Wonderland was announced and revealed through the anime's official website. In the story, Lelouch makes the ultimate use of his Geass for his little sister Nunnally, who loves Alice in Wonderland. Last but not least, number 10, is Lelouch dead? Well, according to the production team, they actually meant to end the series with a bittersweet ending and had the intention of having Lelouch die. So unfortunately, his death in the point of view of the production team is more or less canon. Ichiro Okuchi stated it was decided fairly naturally during the Code Geass script meetings. There were many cases in which there were a number of disputes, but there were barely any when it came to the scripts for episode 25 and the final episode. I think everyone felt the same way when it came to the ending of the character that is Lelouch. However, this topic is still open for discussion in the anime community, as many people assume Lelouch inherited Charles's code, rendering him immortal and reborn as like Cece. So what do you guys think? Is Lelouch dead? What's your favorite character? And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please give this video a like and share and subscribe, and watch our other content, and see you guys next time.